Hey guys, this is J6.5. Remember, OpKey investors, but this is not financial advice. But we have some pretty good information that we want to share with you. Um, Today's video, we're going to talk about a robot that we had licensed from a particular developer, and his promise to us was it's a relatively safe robot, and you can start it on a very, very small account. So we started it on an account, and we dubbed it initially as a loser account because we actually tried this thing with real money in real time on with the real account. So this is what we're addressing today. Can this loser Forex robot make $200 a month? So therefore, we may have an income play with this $200 a month from a small account. Now, as we said at first, and we're going to show you this. We're going to show you the back test at least with this, and I'll show you my real account as well. But we blew an account under their marketing settings. Remember, this was a commercially available EA or robot, and when they were marketing it, they were testing it with a $200 real money account. So through my due diligence, that's what I went by is the developers their recommendation of starting it with $200, but it would work with $100. Remember, our our whole philosophy is if it works with a small account, we can always scale it up and work with the risk settings and also the money management settings. So we're going to show you what it took in one week, and this is the week that we lost our money on, March 1 through 7, 2026, and we started it with a $200 balance. Then we're going to show you a 5% gain that very, very same week with the exact same settings, but there was one difference. We had more money put in there, which is a $1,000 balance. So let's take a look at some of these things that we're referring to. We already ran the back test, but let me show you how we set this thing up. Um, just like they said, we put $200 was the amount that we placed in there, and we did that from 3/1 to 3/7. So you see that. What else we need to show you? Oh, 1 minute time frame, and the results or the graph was it went a little ways, and then it went from $200 to $2, and that's exactly what happened. That's the cool part. That's exactly what happened in our real money account. Then when we look at the report, you can see here our initial investment or deposit was $200. Net profit was a negative 187.45. So that wasn't a good idea. We thought that we had wasted our money, but we took a couple of weeks and started to play with the settings a little bit and a lot of what if scenarios, and we came up with some pretty good and quite frankly some promising results if it works with real money. Now let's show you let's see what happened with $1,000 investment. Okay, now here we are with the exact same settings except for one thing. We started with $1,000 instead of the $200 that was recommended. We did a few tweaks, and all of a sudden the graph looks a little bit different. So in that week, you see this, guys, this was a huge, huge drawdown. Actually, it seems like it's something not as nefarious, but that's a drawdown. And but at the same time, we made a little bit over $50, maybe even $60 on that week with that $1,000. So that's a 5% gain. So you can't, we really can't complain about that. Let's look at some of the reports. $1,000 initial deposit, 56.11 was the net profit if we did that. But now these are the things that you've got to really have a good disposition about. Look at this drawdown. So for us to make 50 bucks, it went down almost $400 at one time before it recovered, and that was a 42% drawdown, almost 400 and some odd dollar drawdown. Same thing with the relative drawdown, 42% relative drawdown. That's $433. So the relative drawdown and the maximum drawdown was the same. The absolute drawdown, what that means, guys, is if we have $1,000 in there, that means we saw that $1,000 initially go from $1,000 to $600. in that area. Actually, 590 some odd bucks or 80 bucks, something along those lines. But at the same time, it did not blow an account, and we can stack if we can stack $50 a week, $50 to $70 a week. That's not bad when it comes to income if we can protect it from blowing. Let's go to the next part. Okay, what's the next thing? We're going to go ahead and we're going to test this in a real account, and you guys can track us, follow along, trade by trade by trade, real money, real accounts. But we are testing it in the first stage with our Laurenex broker, and that is a cent account. So therefore, we can put a small amount of money in there. It should replicate trading $1,000 account. So it's $1,000 cent account, and I think I did a video on that. That's one of the great first steps of testing these robots before you put it on a full $1,000 account. And we're going to do this with a 1 minute time frame. Equity protection, none, because we'll only lose what, 10 bucks. So we'll just let this thing ride. We may put 50% equity protection once we put $1,000 in our CoinEx account or one of our larger accounts. The money management part on that is the risk. That is going to be 0.01 lots per $1,000. Simple. And 20% withdrawals. In other words, once it gets to $200, we're taking money out, starting back with $1,000, because we can at least pay a small bill with a $200 a month profit. So let's see how this works out, guys. You can download this, and it will also have a few more details in our school group. So let's just see if this is something that we can add to our small account portfolio. Go out there and make some real money. Again, go to our school group, um, or even our Show My Trades group, and you should be able to track us with no problem. Oh, school group is free. Go out there and make some real money. Peace.